I'm gonna go with the same answer here. This is where she's asking like, what do you want, whose trans do you want to see, who's going through what trial, so I'll just go both, I guess. Well, it's the same shit after that. I didn't get to see Melinda's ritual, but Luna was forced to reenact the whole thing. Her ritual wasn't nearly as funny as yours because she realized from the start. Yeah, same thing. Moving on. I'm gonna just say the same thing that I said last time. Is this seriously what passes off as entertainment to you? And you know what, I'm gonna ask her what she finds funny exactly. I mean, aside from all the suffering, Araka says, well, it's the fact that the Oaf is now going to believe that he was actually given another chance like he asked. But in reality, neither ritual nor the god of time could give less of a damn about whether he saves the slave or not. It's the same thing. So here Araka is saying that she is not that interested in physical torture, she is interested in psychological torture, and that's why she brought us here, so she could get our reaction, Barry's reaction to the killing of children and all that. So we're going to, I thought you were just bored and decided to bring me on a whim. Nah, that's Aiden's shtick, not mine. I know it may not seem like it most of the time, but rarely do things without reason. I especially chose this moment in time on a designation because I knew they were going to be doing an experiment at this hour. There was going to be a lot of screaming going on. It just would have felt like a waste if I kept you waiting in a silent, empty hallway, you know. I say, just shut up and get us out of here already. It's the same thing after that. This is a non-matter choice. I'm gonna see this. Last time I chose to go for Diane and her brother's discussion instead of Kate's discussion with what is the name again? Kate's discussion with the caretaker and whatnot. I'm gonna go, but I want to see it. Fine, whatever. Don't say I didn't warn you though. Shinrana changes again, and now we're located in another holding cell. It appears to be Kate's room. Kate is the only one in the cell, and from what I can tell, she's currently having a conversation with a person standing outside of a window. I can't see his face because he's hiding behind the wall, but I can only guess that it's a Lasetti, to whom Layla refers to as her father. Those collars will be tricky to deal with, I hear the caretaker say, but I should be able to remove them with the right tools. It will take some time, however. It can be done while organizing an escape. What I could do instead is to disable the electrocuting effect until we are safely out of the space. It would still leave them unable to use the magic, but the important part is that they won't get killed when they step out of the beacon. Yes, exactly what we need. Kate says, thank you. There was also something else I wanted to talk to you about. You should stop telling the other orphans about your escape plan. We have been tricked before by someone who made a similar offer, but many are now reluctant to trust any of the caretakers. Because of that, if you're not careful, someone is going to report you to the higher ups and the escape plan will be ruined. I have a plan on how to convince them to trust you. You'll need to give me some time. Come back tomorrow and we'll talk about this more. Very well, Dalsati says. I must leave you now in order to tend to my daily task. We will talk again tomorrow. Finally, Araka says. I thought they never shut up. Now let's move on to the events that actually matter. We are going to get teleported light brown here. Diane, okay, it's Diane's cousin. Please, Kate says, you're the only one who can help me. The other orphans never listen to me, but I am sure they'll listen to you. You always... Yeah, this is the same shit. Okay, we have read this. So here we're just talking about Lasetti, and she's gonna try and see if they can detect her or not using some little tests or whatever. Do you think Lasetti might have gotten subconscious link to the Magium? I have no idea, Araka says. One thing I remember reading in the writings of the Lasetti of old was that their race had somewhat of an unhealthy obsession with the Magium for many thousands of years. So maybe that could have been a part of the reason, but if you're asking me exactly how it happened, then your guess is as good as mine. I see, I say. So what kind of test were you planning to do exactly? I'm trying to see if any of the set... Yeah, it's the same shit. Oh, by the way, I fucking... like a dumbass skipped the choice. Basically, there's a choice that we're, where should we go, and then we're like, we could skip to the important bits, or we could bring to the actual start of the meeting. I chose actual start of the meeting back in the day when I played this on my own, and I'm gonna choose that same shit again. So it's pretty much, I've already read all this, so you can go check that out. So here Araka is asking how the Meredith has changed the Lasetti management over the years now that she has become the leader. Meredith is the one we saw in the Kate's trial. So well, Diane is no longer wearing a collar, so something will definitely change. Is the one that I like the most. Oh, you met her recently? Haruka says, yeah, and she said that she was working with Lasetti of her own free will. I say, it didn't seem like she trusted the Lasetti. She was courting at the time, but from what I heard her say, it looked like she was considered Meredith to be her ally at least. Araka Luna says, don't you think we should be focusing on escaping this place instead of having conversation? I'm focused on escaping. Yeah, this is the same shit after that. Then we're just getting from Araka how horrible the fucking trial is for Kate, what is the name again? Rose. And the whole Rose situation where she has to first have to reenact the scene, then she has to go and watch the slaves get brutally tortured and killed. I think last time I said what about the cases where nothing really bad happens, and she's like, and she just skips them. I'm just gonna say that again, and it's the same shit. So this is where we're discussing the Araka was scared from the Magium and all that. So I'm just gonna say what I said last time. Trust me, I've gone through what we did, you'd be panicking like that too. Well, you know Barry, you know me Barry, Eric, even if I'm scared out of my words, I still wouldn't pass up on a good challenge. That's what Araka says. In that case, you must absolutely loved your ritual. From what I saw, to say that your trial was a challenge would be quite an understatement. Yeah, she saw the ritual, whatever. So this is where Rose is saying that she's gonna, control her powers and grow stronger so that she can help others and all that. So we're gonna encourage Rose in her decision. And we are normally supposed to get an achievement support a friend, which I already got because that's what I chose last time. Don't listen to Araka, tell Rose. I'm sure you'll be able to master your powers in no time with enough practice. Thank you, Barry. Rose is smiling. We'll try hard to make you all proud of me. I don't mean to interrupt. Yeah, whatever. That's the same shit. But this is the time where we're waiting for the god of time to like release us and all that from this whole spell and shit before the second round begins and all that. This is something, well, I'm happy to be of assistant, turns and I don't suppose to investigate the area, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is the interesting part. Shortly after Darren and Hardwick begin their new patrol of the area, we hear a familiar voice screaming horrified about 100 feet away from us. When we all turn around to find out about who the voice belongs to, we see Cutthroat Dave with a sweat all over his face, looking around him, confused as he's trying to figure out what's going on. I suddenly realize that Cutthroat Dave must have been the person watching us invisibly from afar. That Araka and God of Time were talking about earlier. With all the crazy stuff that's been going on since the prophecy started, I'd completely forgotten about him. So you were our invisible stalker, Melindra says with a smirk as she casts a spell on Cutthroat Dave to lift him in the air. Why don't you come over here so we can see you a little better? She then makes the air current slowly carry Cutthroat Dave towards opposition. He struggles in vain to break himself free. Let me go, you wench, Cutthroat Dave says as he sends some of his knife to attack Melindra. Melindra uses a wind spell to effortlessly deflect the knives. Then she continues to bring Cutthroat Dave closer to us. Watch out, Dylan says. Cutthroat Dave's knives have a life of their own. They're going to keep attacking you even if you deflect them. Oh no, Melindra says in sarcastic tone. Whatever shall I do? He then cast a spell which surrounds each of the knives that are currently attacking her with their own magical air current, making them stop and spill in midair indefinitely. Cutthroat Dave keeps flailing his arms and legs around in the air in the hopes that he could break free from Melindra's spell. Eventually he reaches the position. Melindra gives him a good look before she addresses him again. Why are you so upset, Cutthroat? Melindra says. Is it because you accidentally cancelled your invisibility spell when you panicked earlier? Was your ritual really so terrifying that you still haven't gotten over it? How does a lowlife like you get access to such a sophisticated invisibility spell anyway? As if I was stupid enough to tell you where I got the elixir from, Cutthroat Dave says. I'm way too smart for you to be playing your mind games with me, you understand? Oh, so it was an elixir that made you invisible. Melindra says, interesting. He also has an expensive teleportation scroll the last time we fought him, which he used to get away from us. Dylan says, it would be too much. I wouldn't be too surprised if he had other magical items hidden in his pockets. That's so. Melindra says, let's find out what else he has. As soon as she stops talking, Melindra casts a spell which makes a few items float right out of Cutthroat Dave's pocket into her hands. In her right hand, she is now holding a small flask which is closed with a cork and has a green liquid inside, which is in her left hand she is holding two scrolls that are likely single-use teleportation scrolls, like the ones that the Cutthroat Dave had used before. You thieving whore! Cutthroat Dave shouts furiously. As Melindra makes the flask float in the air in front of her, while she unfurls the cork to take a quick look at them. Give me back my items or I'll promise you'll end up full of holes. You promise? Cutthroat Dave. Melindra says she stares at the Cutthroat in the eye with curiosity in his eyes. I'm intrigued. Do you not realize who you are threatening right now, or has this tournament completely robbed you of your common sense? You think you can scare me? Cutthroat Dave says. You just because you're a Stillwater, your friend is in armor over there was hailed as a legendary mage too. And and that still didn't stop me from bringing him to his knee. What makes you think you're so special? Wait, Araka says, the healer lost a fight against this weakling? This is one of the most hilarious thing I've ever heard. Who are you calling a weakling, you crappy piece of jewelry? Cutthroat Dave says, you called me a piece of jewelry. Araka says, this is too much, I can't take it anymore. Somebody make him shut up or I'll end up dying of laughter. Let's see what we are supposed to do. This is actually a very funny situation. Ask Melinda to for Cutthroat Dave's items. You will get to keep his elixir of invisibility. Alright. Let Melinda do whatever she wants with the items. Okay, she will ask for the items. Ask Melinda if I can have the Cutthroat Dave's items. Hey Melinda, can I have those? Have those items? Sure. Melinda says she hands me the scroll and the elixir. Knocks herself out. The fact that she didn't think twice before giving me items made me a little suspicious. The first thing I did once I got them was to read what was written on the scroll, as I suspected the scroll seemed to be tailored specifically for the Cutthroat that can't be cast by anyone else. I can't say much about the elixir, but considering how Cutthroat Dave went out of his way to get scrolls that would only work for him, I wouldn't be surprised if the green liquid acted in a similar manner. Melinda gives me a smirk when she sees that I'm done reading the scroll. So you've probably figured out by now that these scrolls are completely useless to us. Melinda says the elixir might work, but I personally wouldn't risk it. Who knows what nasty side effects it might have if it were used by the wrong person. Well, it's still better than nothing. I'll keep it for now. I then put the flask inside my bag and I tear the teleporting scrolls into pieces to make sure the Cutthroat Dave won't be using them. Won't be able to use them. We're all going to pay for this, Cutthroat Dave says. He looks at us furiously. You think I just mess with Cutthroat Dave and get away with it? You're looking at the future winner of the tournament. You have no idea just how big of a mistake you've made. The future winner of the tournament, Barry, Araga says. Damn, Barry, it looks like you finally found yourself some worthy competition. Shut up, I tell her. I think I've heard enough cases. She sent 3 ice cones straight for the Cutthroat's face. Cutthroat Dave reacts almost instantly and sends 3 of the knives that he had in his belt to deflect the ice cones at the very last second. Whoa there, Cutthroat Dave says. He's now sweating a little. Is attacking a man while he's defenseless the only thing you can do? How about we make this a fair fight instead of you all ganging up on me like street thugs? He ignores the Cutthroat's request and she's now preparing some extra ice cones to make sure they can't deflect them anymore. Before Cutthroat Dave has the time to say any more words, Kate unleashes all of her ice cones. The 2 of them go right through his head, killing him instantly. So much for the Cutthroat, I guess. Melinda says. She drops his corpse on the ground. And good riddance, I say, Hadrick says. We have wasted enough time with him as it is now. Let's get back to work. We don't know how much time we have left. After we were done with Cutthroat Dave, we all got back to what we were doing. Initially, but shortly afterwards, the area around us got covered in a bright white light again. This time I could feel my whole body being transported somewhere else, not just my consciousness. Is this the same shit or is this something different? Oh, this is when we get teleported to the back in the past with Araka and all that. So we are getting, so this is something new. Ancient language check successful level 4. We have level 4 ancient language, so we are able to get a little thing here. This is the same, everything is same except for this. Very shortly after being transported here, I also heard someone talking loudly in the Lasethi language through a magical voice magnifier, and the message he was transmitting was, please stay clear of the Eastern District. The Lasethi High Council are having an important meeting in the Great Hall and do not want to be disturbed. I'm not really sure what kind of an attacker would make a whole city panic like this. This is Araka. Oh, fucking again, I again made a choice without talking about it. So we're just talking about, oh, this is an important choice too. I didn't even read it, for fuck's sake. Whatever, I chose the right option at least. How do these towers work exactly? That was I was supposed to choose. This is exactly what I chose last time. They're just talking about like how power is given to the tower and then it's used to run all the machinery and stuff like that. This is the same shit as I read this before basically, so it's fine. It says attack past Araka with my dagger. I don't have a dagger, I have Shimtars. But okay. Try to stall for time in the hopes that others can come up with a plan. So that's what we're gonna go with. And we did this last time as well. And then Tyrath is gonna come and help us. And he's gonna get us out of here. And then we're gonna be finishing the chapter after we've done this. Actually, we're sent here against our own will with the God of Time and all that. Do you know anything about the God of Time and his rituals? Yeah, this is the same shit. Okay. So this is after we get out of the ritual because, you know, God of Time got lots of energy from Araka and all that. So he says that our ritual will continue later on. So we are done. And that's the end of book 3. And as you can see, I've gotten the achievements that are required. I didn't even have to go out of my way to look for achievements. I just played the normal playthrough and played the ideal playthrough and just had enough achievements, so we can proceed on to book 3.